Hi, I'm Donna Balzer, and I love to garden.
I'm Steve Biggs. I love to garden too.
We're both horticulturists.
And gardeners. But even though we're professionals, we're not garden snobs. That means we can take the science of gardening and make it simple for you.
Gardeners love to grow year-round. Herbs in the fall or winter, or flowers and vegetables in the spring. So your seeds are up and growing, and you think to yourself, what should I do next?
You know, Donna, there's a lot of what I call garden pornography out there. Glossy magazines that make people believe that their seedlings have to look picture perfect. It's a crock. When we grow seedlings at home, we don't have a greenhouse, so they're not perfect.
No, they're
Check
not
out this tomato plant that I grew myself. Now,
I can't believe you grew that yourself.
I'm not too proud of it, but I grew it on a windowsill and I forgot about it for a while. It's far from perfect, but you know what? It'll be perfectly fine in the garden.
Okay, well, we're going to have to start a little smaller than that. Really, that's not your first time you've transplanted that one.
No, I transplanted that one once already.
Right. So what generally people are looking for when they've got young seedlings is they're looking for one that has just the first set of true leaves. So this the seed leaves are quite a bit bigger, and they come on first, and then you get your seed, your true leaves. So I'm just going to pop that out of there. Oh. There we go.
Look at
those roots.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? So I don't want to handle it by the stem. If I pull these up by the stem, you know, I'm going to break them off. The roots are going to break off. It's going to be a disaster. So I'm using this high-tech tool. So
The pencil. Yeah.
I'm sure you do the same thing. So I just kind of poke around. What I'm trying to do is loosen up the roots a little bit. And then I will grab these by the true leaves. And just loosen it, just like that. Look at that beautiful root.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to transplant it right into here, make my little hole with my professional dibbler, pop it in, and then just firm it up around. It's ready to go.
That's
You want to do
great.
a few?
Yeah, and so what Donna said about using the pencil is great. But as she always likes to remind me, there's more than one way to slice a tomato. So you can use your baby finger too, and you can tease away these plants with your fingers. You can make the hole in your cell pack with your fingers. So the key message is really, there's more than one way to slice a tomato. There's more than one way to garden.
Excellent. Now what do we do with these bigger plants once they get to be bigger?
Well, here's a nice point to remember with tomatoes. Now look at this sickly tomato plant. And again,
Okay, enough
I
about
grew
the
this.
sickly
Yeah.
tomato.
So we have a lot of stem on here that we don't want. Tomatoes are nice because most plants you keep at the same soil level when you transplant them, but a tomato can go deeper. So tap it out of that pot.
Look how nice those roots are, though.
It has nice roots, so we have a nice plant. Now I have a pot here that's filled with soil. We want this to sit at the bottom of that pot so we can bury a bit of that stem. So let's pull out a bit of this soil. We'll sit that tomato plant in there. And there we go.
Doesn't
As
look a lot
easy as
better,
that.
Steve.
It doesn't look a lot better, but give this a week in the garden and that's going to look nice.
Yeah, true enough. And these tomatoes here looked about like this. Well, not exactly like this. These are my tomatoes, Steve.
I know, Donna.
Anyways, these looked about like that just a couple of weeks ago, so it doesn't really take them long. I think I transplanted these like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks
So
ago.
the message here is that you go from your small cell packs up to possibly your 4-inch pot,
Yeah.
and then finally into the 1-gallon pot. So you slowly move them up. You don't jump right from just a little baby plant into a great huge pot. And I think that's a mistake a lot of new gardeners make.
They go from the small cell pack up to too big
Yeah.
a pot too quickly.
So this one's just about ideal. I'm just going to pull it out of curiosity. I'm just wondering how the roots are looking in this after a couple weeks. And look at that. Don't those look great? Yeah.
We have some nice roots in this pot.
Yeah, so.
And,
That one's
and
ready
just
to
a
move up,
note
actually.
for home gardeners though, sometimes you might not have space to grow your transplants in this size of pot. You don't have to. you can grow something in this size of pot until it's ready to put out into the garden. So it depends on what your setup is too, doesn't it,
It
Donna?
does, or what your climate is. Like we're in such a cold climate where I'm from. I know you're in the Bible Belt or whatever you
I'm
call
in
it.
Toronto.
The
I
hot
know,
belt, the sun
yeah,
belt.
the banana belt.
But we're pretty cool here, and we can't really go right from this size of tomato outdoors because it'll just be too cool. Well, we're likely to get snow here, you know, almost any month of the year.
So
we like to
you
keep
keep
moving
your
them up.
transplants in big pots until it's warm.
I just want to point out, once your plants are growing and doing well, you might be wanting to put them in and out of the house during the day just to harden them off a bit. This one's been out for a
Yeah.
few weeks now, and I'm actually ready to move it up to a bigger size pot because, as I said, I have to keep moving mine up. So I'm going to do that but before I do, I just want to show that the bottom leaves are turning yellow, and people might be panicking if their bottom leaves are turning yellow. All it means is that the plant's a little low on nitrogen. I could fertilize it again, and of course you can get more information about fertilizer on our webpage.
Well, one other thing we should point out, Donna, I see a little bit of scald on here.
See right here.
And it's on this leaf right here. You see this yellow and white area?
Can you see that?
And so when Donna talked earlier about hardening off the plants, she's talking about baby steps for that plant to become used to the heat temperature extremes outdoors and the wind and the sun. And it's the sun especially that causes that scald. It's like sunburn on a person.
Okay, so I'm just going to move it up, and I think that's all for transplanting.
So Donna, you're putting that into the 1 gallon pot now, potting it up. That looks good, Donna. Yeah. So for home gardeners, the message is forget the garden pornography. Transplanting is simple. Don't worry if your plants aren't perfect.
Hey, you're not going to forget to water that little lonely plant, are you?
You're right, Donna.
All right, thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Oh, I'd give it a bit more than that. Let's go.
Sorry.
Jeez. All right, we're done.